Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm painting a local scene and I've made a lot of adjustments because the photograph that I took was a dark, stormy, rainy day, and I like my pictures to have a lot of sunshine in them. So you'll see, I'll show you the photograph and you'll see what I've done. My painting is an impression of this scene, how I would really like it to be. I've adjusted the height of the buildings, the number of windows in the buildings, the height of the trees and their placement, and the water itself. I've made it much calmer. I've also left things out like air conditioning units and antenna and extra buildings that I didn't think needed to be there. There's a boat in the photograph, but I'm going to save that for another painting. So you can still recognize the location, but it's not exactly the same as the photograph. I've left out all the extras, is how I think of them. I'm painting in acrylics and I have titanium white, primary yellow, raw sienna, raw umber, French ultramarine blue, sap green, and alizarin crimson, and I will add a few more colors later, and if I can figure out how to do it, I'll add a list to this video. I'm starting with French ultramarine blue and titanium white, and I'm going to do the sky, and I'm just sort of casually brushing it on. I will do some sort of crisscross strokes later on to sort it out, and I must say that I'm doing a voiceover because I haven't figured out the sound on this new software that I'm using, and believe me, it's better if I do a voiceover. Because I have a blue building and a blue sky, I need to put in the white cloud to make the building stand out a little more. For shadows in the clouds, I added alizarin crimson to give me a sort of mauvey color when it's combined with the blue, and now I'm adding a little sap green and yellow, and I'm going to use that for the water. Water sort of evolves in my paintings, and whatever you see me put down, it may or may not stay there. I want to get a sunny aqua sort of look into my painting, so I'm mixing primary yellow with raw sienna, and that's going to be my buildings, which are not actually quite that color. They're more sort of a cream color, and the yellow that I'm putting down may not entirely stay, but it will peek through. That's my theory with colour. Put everything on there and some will stay, some won't, but the odd little flake will peek through and give your painting a liveliness. That's my theory anyway. This blue building has sort of curve on it, and you can hear my dog snoring in the background, sorry about that. So I'm going to show that curve with shading. And while I've got blue on my brush, I'll add that to my water. There are a lot of windows in this building and I just cannot be asked to put them all in. So I'm cutting them down drastically. And I'm just putting in smudges because then I go in later with the actual building colour and sort of line them all up. Because I'm working in acrylics, it's easy to paint over what you don't want. That's one thing I like about acrylics. I've used alizarin crimson and primary yellow to make a sort of orangey colour for the roofs, and I'll probably add more red in the shadowy parts of the roof as I go along, but it's basically a sort of one of those dark red orange coloured roofs. I've added a light blue, a cobalt blue and this sort of aqua green, and I'm going to add that to the river water. I'm mixing this green with a little yellow and some titanium white, and I'm hoping to achieve that sort of aqua colour that Florida water has. It sometimes works. I think it's working. I thought I'd put in the little seawall. You can see it in the photograph. I took the picture out of the car window, and it was quite a nice little wall, as I recall, with sort of stone blocks and a little top, concrete top to it. I think it adds to the painting. I think I must have taken the photograph in the morning because this side of the building, which I'm painting in shade, would usually be sunny, I think. And I'm going to sort of swish that blue round to indicate the curve. There's a sort of, it doesn't have it doesn't have a sharp corner. It has a sort of curving roundness to it. I think. I'm looking at the photograph and I think that's what it's doing. I have to work on that a little bit more, but we'll let the paint dry for now. So whatever colour I have on my brush, I will put some of that into the water, and I'm going to add some darker colour down near the front because I've got a tree along there which is casting shadow over the water, and the water looks greener as it gets closer to you in any case, but I want to have that shadowed foreground. I haven't really done anything with the water yet in the way of reflections, but I'm putting in some highlights on my posts and tree trunks and other little spots. Once you've got your midtones in, the basics of the picture, it's a case of adding lights and darks and just sort of picking away at it until you get it where you want it. I'm working on the roof here, adding some darker alizarin to the shady spots, and I haven't yet put any reflections in the water, so the water still looks pretty solid. So here I'm working on the water, adding a little more blue of the sky and white of the clouds. I'm still not putting the reflections in. I'll get to that a little later. I'm putting in my palm trees and I'm just daubing on the paint. You don't really see much detail from a distance. Maybe a little light and dark, but really it's sort of a mid-tone thing. When you're talking about distant trees, you don't see those details until they're quite close up. I've made the palm trees taller than they are in the photograph. I think they look better that way. I'm using Naples yellow to put light on my tree trunks and the posts, the mooring posts. I don't know if that's the real name for them. And I apologise for my dog snoring. He's really loud this evening. The painting is mostly finished, and from here on out it's a matter of reinforcing some areas, putting extra paint in where it's a little too thin, adding lights and darks, and that's it really. Not really very much to do anymore. I'm going to try and get a little more light in this water, make it look a little more watery. It's always a bit of a tussle for me, and I think I've made this look a little too calm. It's more like a lake than it is a river, and it is a flowing river, so it should have some ripples on, which I've not managed to do, but maybe I'll do better next time.
She's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart covered as a gift and hope
Thank you very much for watching my video, and if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. That helps the algorithm find me out of the thousands of videos uploaded every day, and I'd really appreciate it if you could do that. And I'll see you next time.